Hey, this is Buff Bagwell, and you're watching the Card Subject Change podcast. Check it out.
Welcome back to the show!
Welcome back to the show!
And now, your hosts of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the For Frequency's Sake Tag Team Champions of the World, the Wizard CZ, and Never Wrong Nick Bull.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan for the fan. Of course, we are on the For Frequency's Sake podcasting network. We're happy to be here. We are thrilled to be here, of course, to be talking wrestling, and that's what we're here to do. I am Never Wrong Nick Bull. Welcome to the show, episode 220 of the Card Subject to Change podcast. Of course, the Card Subject to Change podcast, powered by Low Pies Pizza and built by Durham Remodeling. I want to thank those guys so much for allowing us to do what we do here, and that's just get together and talk about wrestling. So many forms of shows on this network that we have. Check them out, For Frequency's Sake Network. Not just wrestling shows, tons of other shows as well. I would be remiss if I did not introduce to you my tag team partner. He is one half of the Card Subject to Change podcast. We are the For Frequency's Sake tag team champions, and he is a wizard by trade. He is the one. He is the only. He is the wizard, CZ. Wiz, how you doing, bud?
I am feeling good, and I am a certified wizard now, thanks to our friend Stryker, and I feel bad. I forgot to bring the certificate into the room with me, but that's okay. We'll show it off another time.
Just make it appear.
I'm not that magical right now. No, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. We had a fantastic weekend of wrestling, and I'm excited to talk all about it. I mean, hard to tell where to start because there were two fantastic shows, one on the main level and one on the independent level. Of course, there were other shows going on, on the indies, all around the world. There's a show going on right now, which I hope to catch later, Bound for Glory, TNA.
I know. I read that Devon tweeted that this is going to be his final match. So this will be the retirement match for Devon Dudley at Bound for Glory tonight as well. So that's interesting. I did want to see that show. A half-rate wizard.
That's okay. That's okay. I won't acknowledge him ever again. That's why he's all ego, DJ Jarvis.
Okay. More on that later. But no, we did. There's a lot going on in wrestling. There's always so much going on with wrestling now. And I think some people might say to a point, is it saturation? And I don't think it is. It's just there's so much out there to consume if you wanted to. But when you find your niche, you kind of go with that. And that's what we do here. With that being said, I don't know. I initially did not watch. I did not watch Crown Jewel, which was taking place down in Perth, Australia. With that 7 a.m. start time, I usually stay up late on Friday nights. Wasn't happening, but thankful for the fact that I went to see a Dreamwave show in Peru. I was able to have the pay-per-view or the PLE up and listen and watch on the way up and way back. So that was the way I was able to see it. I did not watch it live, but and with Raw, as we record this, as we go live here, live and record on Sunday nights, Raw is going to be at 7 a.m. on Monday morning.
Yes, it is.
So
bright and early.
I probably won't be watching that.
If I watch the whole thing, I'll be late for work. So
I
don't know. I'm sure I'll be up at that time. I may watch the start of Raw, but my Netflix has been kind of screwy. When I stop Raw in the middle and I go back to it later, which I've done a few times, it jumps. in the timeline. Like, it doesn't put me right
That's
back
weird.
where I was.
Well, let's jump back to the timeline of what was yesterday morning, the Crown Jewel show for WWE down in Perth, the latest installment of the PLEs, the latest episode of the John Cena retirement tour. Cena and Styles alone, for me, sold this card. And then when you get, your champion versus champion matches, of course, everybody kind of wants to see what those. Striker. We'll get to that in a little bit on God. Striker. That's right. It's card subject to change on God. But no, Cena and Styles was an amazing match, which sold it before because you knew they're gonna pull all the stops out. And then with the championship matches, you want to see Cody and Seth. You want to see two of the best go at it, right? With really no stipulation of other than somebody getting an oversized, bedazzled belt. My goodness, CZ.
Jeez.
I cannot wait to see the first fan at a show that has one of those. Someone's going to have one. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of looking forward to the show, but I knew in all likeliness I wasn't going to watch it live. So for me, that kind of took away from it. But yeah, I look forward to it. And for what I saw and what I've seen on the show, what I've read, everybody seemed to say it was far superior than WrestlePalooza and had some big moments.
Well, I'm just going to flat out say WrestlePalooza was a giant turd compared to this. Like an oversized turd.
Right.
The kind you can't really flush down. Sorry, visual. Nobody needed that visual, but there it is.
You got to get like a broomstick in there and break it up.
Right. This was worlds better than what they presented for the first ESPN pay-per-view, PLE, whatever.
Sure.
They're always going to be pay-per-views in my mind, but you and I are old school like that. We've been around for since the times of pay-per-view.
Yep. I mean, I was fine being able to watch it, on demand now. It's so much easier. You don't have to really watch it live if you don't want to, but, had to get it watched in time for doing this show here tonight. Of course, episode 220 here on the Card Subject to Change podcast by the fan, for the fan. We're powered by Low Pies Pizza and built by Durham Remodeling. Interact with us. Got CZ's got the chat going over on the side. But yeah, do you think the Crown Jewel title will hang in Black and Brave? It's a great question. I mean, they got to get a replica up, right? Like they've got every other belt or title that Mr. Rollins or Mrs. Rollins, Miss Becky Lynch. They have all her titles up there too, so maybe they are. I hope when it goes up that someone posts a picture of it because I definitely want to see it.
Supposedly, at least this is what we were told a year ago. Those titles were supposed to stay in Saudi.
Yeah, they don't leave Saudi. That's probably why there's no replicas made or whatever.
But they did this. They did this year. They said they were supposed to stay in.
To some, I'm sure.
Yes.
To some, I'm sure it is, but to others, I mean, the show's over. We're not spoiling anything here. The shot at the end of the show with Seth Rollins after he just defeats Cody Rhodes with not only his world heavyweight title, but his huge title. And then there's Stephanie Vaquer wearing her women's heavyweight title and holding up that huge belt. It looks like it's not real. It's an optical illusion.
It's as big as she is.
It's cool. It's a cool graph. It's a cool picture. You look at it, it's like, oh wow, that belt's huge and she's tiny. But nonetheless, I thought this show delivered, fully advancing some things. And yeah, wherever you want to start with, man. Interested to see where you want to go.
Before we move off of those Crown Jewel championships themselves, you are the belt connoisseur of the two of us. What do you think of them overall?
They're all right, man, but they're giant. They're huge. You've heard of big hat energy in Central Empire Wrestling. This would be big belt energy.
It would. It very much would.
Yeah, Derek Sharp, you're right. They paid a lot for those end of show shots with those belts. You're absolutely right. Those belts are huge. I'd like to know what they would cost and what they really cost for real, for shoot, and what the stipulations are. Like, they're staying there forever. So
I think
anyway,
we'd have to, if we were to get those belts, I think we'd have to mortgage your house, my mom's house, DJ's house, and several others to be able to afford
it wouldn't. Don't even have that kind of money, dude. Don't even have that kind of money. But no, nonetheless, yeah. Where do you want to start with this show? You want to go in order? What do you want to do?
I mean, let's just not bury the lead and start with the best match on the card, and that is.
Oh, which match is that? I mean, there were a few good ones.
There were a few good ones, but for me, it was Cena and AJ, hands down.
Yeah,
this match delivered in droves, and it's funny. I was watching it live. So was our good friend Timothy Regal. We were in our group chat before Nick was alive to the world, we'll say, since he was up late Friday night. We were chatting back and forth, and I said literally 2 minutes before Wade Barrett, I said, this is like two creative wrestlers in 2K where all their moves are finishers. And then Wade Barrett jumped in and said the same thing.
So you're saying how people, like, your phone listens to you. Yours is different. Wade Barrett listens to you.
Well, maybe my phone is plugged into Wade Barrett's earpiece. I don't know.
It might be. No, you're right. I went back and heard that compliment or heard that comment. It was funny when he said it and you typed it into our chat group right away. So yeah, that was pretty unique. That was cool. But I mean, this is the Cena retirement tour has been on a bumpy path, but I think it kind of corrected itself, and maybe it's back on the path. Maybe it's not back on the straight and narrow, but it's back in the right direction. And I think they missed on this match big time by not doing it in France. By not doing it in France with the crowd, with the way they react to AJ Styles and how that could have been. That match should have been in France, but this is like a love letter to like two of the workhorses of like the modern generation that never, they had a couple matches and they delivered, and they're two guys that respect the business, that respect each other. And yeah, them doing other people's finishers as homages is like totally cool. Crowd was into it. It was a totally fully immersed match experience wise, where you're getting everything from the audio, the nice letter that Cena wrote, or the introduction that Cena gave to the ring announcer to announce AJ Styles, the action back and forth, the counters, the way these guys just threw it out there. Dude, Cena's got 4 matches left, and like this retirement tour,
not even been the best, appearances left. 4 appearances.
4 appearances left, right. So probably 2 matches, maybe 3 matches.
I would say 2 matches.
With that being said, though, like I love this match. It's definitely the best Cena match on the retirement tour. Way better than the Cody one from SummerSlam. On the non-DQ crap. So, yeah.
And here's the thing, you said this was a love letter to 2 men who are on the twilight of their career. This was their love letter to previous opponents.
Oh, for sure.
You had moves like the Angel Wings, which was called that. That surprised me that they called it the Angel's Wings on air, because that's.
Were you surprised with Cole and Barrett dropping Chris Jericho left and right?
Yes.
That tells me he's back. That tells me he's coming. That was probably like part of an agreement. You're going to do it like, I thought it was cool. How stupid not to recognize other things and where other people are now. Like, you don't want to directly mention the competition, but you can say in a veiled way about who it is. People will pick up on it, but thought this match had to be in the middle of the show. I know it's probably the best match and you want it in the main event, but when you got 2 champ versus champ match, you have to have that as the main event. You have to. So this was put in the right spot, and I think it was the best match on the card.
And I don't think it would have been right in the opener. I think you're correct. I think it was absolutely perfect where it was. We opened the show. That was a pretty hot opener between Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns. And, oh boy. The end of that match is what sticks out to me the most. The match was really good, I thought. Bronson getting a win over Roman is going to be huge for him. That is a big deal, even with help, with outside help from Braun Breaker. But oh my, the aftermath of that, where the Usos come out and Roman is sitting berating the Usos. I think his line, if I'm going to paraphrase, I'm pretty sure it was very close to this, but the whole world thinks I can't do this on my own. I told you guys to stay back, and here you are proving the whole world right, essentially.
Yeah, essentially this match is a big beatdown by both guys. Braun makes his appearance later in the match, but the big part is the aftermath. And clearly Roman Reigns is upset. And clearly Roman Reigns has gotten dismantled now on back-to-back pay-per-views, it feels like, by Mr. Bronson Reed and to some extent Braun Breaker.
And Jey Uso walked away.
What's going to happen with Jey here? They keep teasing it. Are they going to turn him heel? Fully, don't know. Can't tell you that. I don't know. I don't know if I feel it either.
It sure feels like they are, but
something different. We're getting something totally different.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed if he turns in full, but you look at his title run. He didn't really have the chops to hold that title. We've talked about that on air. His title run was not the greatest at all because he just couldn't carry the weight.
Right.
And with him having been a face for so long, in a majority of his career, especially on his solo run, he's always been a face. Interested to see where it goes if they fully turn him. I just don't know that he can carry that weight by himself.
Yeah, I don't know either. Time's going to tell here. But I think, am I wrong in saying the match that everybody wants to see here is Roman and Braun? That's the match I want to see here. That's the match. That's, I think, the ultimate thing we want to see out of this. Of course, we want to see Reigns and Rollins. Of course, push that aside. The match right now that I want they keep teasing is Reigns and Braun Breaker. Let's freaking have it. Let's do it. And we're getting closer to that and closer to that. I just looked at this opening match and the post-match angle as a way to get there. And we'll talk more about Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed later with a great backstage segment with Paul Heyman before the main event of Cody and Seth.
No, without a doubt. And I can't wait for that to explode. Those two, Spear versus Spear, Roman versus Braun, bring it on. The sooner the better.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, the anticipation
WrestleMania would be fine for me.
I'm okay with that.
And then whose side would Heyman be on by that time?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because Paul's loyalties are very slippery, as seen in the last week or so between his interactions with Rollins, between his interactions with Bronson and Braun. Who knows? I would hope, in a perfect world, I would hope his allegiance is to Braun Breaker. That makes the most sense to me. Braun can use it.
I think he's coming back to Roman soon. I think he's going to be back with Roman soon. I really do. Sooner rather than later. But yeah, Paul Heyman has a bit, like we said, there's a big moment later. We'll just talk about it now. I don't want to forget about it. We'll just talk about it now. This is right before the main event of Cody and Seth. And backstage, it's Bronson, it's Braun Breaker, and it's Paul Heyman. And Heyman's telling Bronson, we're so proud of you. 2 months in a row, you've taken down and destroyed this guy. We knew when we brought you in, we could get you on the level of what the vision is, and you're on that level now. You can win these matches. Congrats. And Paul informs them to not come out in the match tonight. Do not come out and aid Seth in this battle.
Under any circumstances.
Which catches Braun and Bronson off guard, I would say. They're taken aback. They continue their conversation. Bronson goes, well, what if he doesn't win? Meaning, what if Seth doesn't win? And that's when Heyman brings himself back into the frame of the television shot and says, How did he? What's the exact quote? If he doesn't win, then what? It's like you know what?
Yeah, I think you know.
I think you know, and then that's it. So that was an excellent touch with what's been developing with the Vision. Like, what's going to be next for the Vision? Is someone going to defect? When's the jealousy start? But Heyman, giving the commands of staying back. Were those commands from on top by Seth? Is that going to be called out on Raw? And Heyman's got to backpedal and defend himself. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to see, if that's going to tie into the storyline or not. Of course, we're talking about that promo before the main event of Cody and Seth Rollins.
No, without a doubt. Let me ask you, we'll just go on to the next one next. What are your thoughts on Stephanie Vaquer being the Crown Jewel champion this year?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Vaquer, I've been saying it on here for months. I think she's the best in the company. She lays claim to the top, and I think you're seeing that. She's accomplished a ton in the last 12 months, more so probably than anybody else ever has in that time span. Tiffany Stratton the same way. First time she's been pinned in this title defense of hers.
Yes.
So to lose to possibly the best just makes you better. Teases a match down the road.
Iron sharpens iron.
Storyline already. What's
iron
that?
Sharpens iron.
Exactly. And you've already got a storyline for when these guys face off down the road, maybe 2 years from now in WrestleMania or something. So I didn't have a problem with it. Both great wrestlers. I like both of them. I think Stephanie's slightly better. Tiffany's more of the acrobatic gymnast background, yes, but definitely one of the brighter signings out of like the WWE NIL era. She's definitely, turned the corner and has definitely, put herself at that top level.
No, I was on the fence as to how I felt about Stephanie winning this, because it kind of comes down to who needs it more. But when you break it down, neither of them really needed the win. Tiffany being undefeated going into this match, Stephanie with so much momentum behind her, I don't think anyone needed.
Win helps Stephanie more.
I can agree with that, but I don't think anybody
solidifies her more, even though she's been on the main roster a shorter time. That's what that fully was, in my opinion. You're solidifying her, beating somebody who hasn't been beaten since they've had the title or been pinned or whatnot. So that's why I think they went that way. That's my reasoning or my belief. Though that's the way I see it. But I'm sure maybe there's a different reason. But I think that's the reason that makes the most sense.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that for sure. Of course, that wasn't the only women's match. I'll be honest, the women's tag match was probably my least favorite match on the card, and that's not saying it's bad. Because how can you have a bad match with Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and the Kabuki Warriors? I mean, Asuka has always been one of my favorites. She's maybe not as prominent as she was. Kairi is very good, but Ia and Rio are two of the best women on the roster right now.
What do you think about Io getting the fall and not Rhea?
I was surprised, especially, we're in Rhea's home country. We're in Rhea's backyard. But, we talk about who needed it more. I think Io needed that more, especially with the story behind why Io is fighting them.
Exactly. I thought Rhea should have had it too, but it's like, no, the bigger story these last couple of weeks, it's those women getting misted and those other girls trying to bring Io down. So Io needed this. Exactly. I agree. Match was okay. Did what it had to do. I just would have liked seeing Rhea featured more prominently in her backyard.
I agree.
I thought this was the match where she was going to beat Io for the title. That's what I, months ago thought that was how it was going to go down, but that was not the case. And Stephanie Vaquer walks out of here. You're a winner.
Can I ask you a question?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. No.
For sure.
Can I start treating you the way Asuka treats Kairi?
No, it's vice versa. I'm going to treat you that way.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Oh, I would never do that.
I just have this picture in my head of me walking away and you just kind of standing there, bully, like she goes, "Hey!"
There'd probably be a few other words in there that started with F, but no, that's good. That's good.
And of course, the main event, Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, and again, though the theme of this for the last two matches has been who needs it more. Rollins definitely needed this more than Cody.
Rollins had to have it. Had to.
If he had lost this match, where would he go? The Vision breaks up. His title run becomes kind of lackluster.
He had to win this match.
Yes.
If he doesn't, the hottest angle on Monday night is just sizzling away. It cools off drastically.
Yes.
Had to win by nefarious means as well. Had to do that. It had to be that way. These guys did some incredible things that kind of, puts them in the same breath as this Styles Cena match we talked about earlier. Some of the top, the Avalanche Crossroads, everything off the top rope now is an avalanche. So, but Io Asuka one-on-one future. God, I hope so. I hope we get Io and Asuka one-on-one. We need that as fans. But no, I liked the main event. Seth had to win this and fully expected him to win. I would have been shocked if he didn't win. And it doesn't make Cody look any less. Cody got clocked in the face with the watch that he gave Rollins at WrestleMania 40. That's storytelling. That's backstory. That's planting seeds years ago and using them. That's what good storytellers and good wrestling can do. So
Striker with a potential hot take, best match in their storyline so far. I don't know if I can argue with that. It's close.
Was it better than the Hell in a Cell match?
Ooh, that's why I say it's close.
With the bruised chest, I'd have to go back and watch it again. I have to go back and watch it again to put it in the same conversation as that. But I really enjoyed this show. I watched it in two parts on the way up and back from Peru. Maybe that it was definitely better because if I would have watched that show at 7 a.m., I would have been dead to the world last night and missed that show up in Peru that we got to go see with Dreamwave.
Which we'll get to in a moment. I'm excited to talk about that. But if you were to grade this show, where does it fall?
Dude, solid B+.
I'll go one better. I'll give it an A-.
A-? Okay. I'll go A-. I would give it like a 90, 91 A-.
Yeah, it'd be a low A-, but still.
Oh my God, it's much better than WrestlePalooza. It makes you forget that sour taste that was left in the mouth. That crap. This was 5 matches, guys. 5 matches, when done right, can deliver.
Yes.
The show wasn't too drastically over the top long either. A little over 3 hours, but it was also an overseas show, so they're going to do some stuff a little bit different, a little more special for that crowd. But yeah, I'd give it an A-.
Yeah, I'd say so, and I think most of the internet wrestling community kind of agrees on that line. B+, A-, somewhere in that range. From what
on God, they better.
He's Nick Bull, on God. And you probably, if you weren't at Dreamwave last night, probably have no clue what we're talking about. So we'll break it down.
We're going to get there right now because I'll go ahead and give my Dreamwave wrestling show grade last night, A+. That was my 5th time going to a Dreamwave show. This was the first one that was not at the Knights of Columbus, and that wasn't in LaSalle. This one was outdoor at Peru. It was the Halloween Dreamwave's Trick or Treat show. Proudly boasting wrestling's first ever independent buried alive match. But
yes,
I'm giving last night an A+. Fun night. Hung out with you, friend of the show Striker, and of course that effing Mark Jeremy at our VIP table. We had a blast. We're able to talk to Dijak, who was in the buried alive match with Hartenbauer, and able to see Megan Bain up close and personal. She is beautiful as advertised, looks just like she does on TV. She is a sweetheart, And man, crowd was really behind her last night. Like anytime you got like a 6'1" Amazon Greek looking goddess woman out there, and she's like doing these power moves in the ring. It's actually kind of pretty.
I was just gonna say she's absolutely beautiful, but she is dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, suplexing, throwing people around, like it was pretty cool to see that. So, no, great time was had last night, and I can't brag about Dreamwave enough.
I enjoyed it so much that I know we're going to talk about it in depth now, but my article this week, now that I'm back to writing, took a week off from the wrestling articles, but I focused on that there as well.
No, absolutely. Check it out. And we will try. I'll probably post some pictures, man. It was a late night last night, getting home, getting some rest because, we were home by 11. This is independent. It's up in LaSalle, Peru. Run shows every other month, but they're bringing in some big time stars that you see on TV and that are tearing up the independents. I know we got a chance to talk with Santana Jackson last night.
Yes.
Who's been featured prominently on GCW shows. We talked with Dijak, Megan Bain. I'm trying to think who else. Hartenbauer, Matt Hatter. Talked to him. Talked to our buddy DB, who dressed his nails for the Halloween costume contest. He nailed it. But no.
Pun intended?
Pun intended? No, not at all. Not at all. But a lot of good stuff. And if you dig independent wrestling and people that you will probably see down the road in future big time companies, this is the place to go see it. I know our friends Troy Dobbins and Albert Gourier were over there as well. Talked with them last night. They made the trip up. So, no, they enjoyed the show as well. But anything you want to add about the show? Because I could go on and on and on about it.
My article, I go in depth. Quite a few names to watch on this show.
Just give us a good thought from the article. Don't give us the whole article, but give us a thought from the article.
Okay. I'll focus on, and you're going to pop for this because I know you're a tag team guy. I'll pop on or I'll focus on Bang & Matthews versus the Hype. We've had Hunter Holdcraft on the show. Fantastic interview. Go back in our archives and check it out on YouTube. But these four men put on a tremendous tag team. And if you have not seen Bang & Matthews, both of these teams go out of your way to watch. But Bang & Matthews have Davey Bang and what is it? What's Matthews' first name? I'm
is
blanking
it August
on
Matthews?
August, I believe so.
Is it August? I want to say it's August.
That sounds right, but I'm not 100%. But no, wow. If you have not seen one of their matches, particularly their finish, that is one of the best tag team finishes I have ever seen, in my opinion. It's called the Spears Tower. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to describe it because I want you to go watch it, come back to the page, and leave your comments on what you think.
It's pretty cool. I've seen them. This was my first time seeing them live. I've seen them on GCW shows before, of course, watching from home, but seeing them live and in person was great. Show was set up outside in a big parking lot at Luz Lagrado in Peru. I guess, man, there was about 500 people there.
I would say about 500. Yep.
Of course, they got it set up. The setup, I told them, and I said, this is the total compliment. This looks like a late 90s pay-per-view with a couple skeletons in the graveyard, of course, because they had the Buried Alive match with Mike Hartenbauer and with Dominic Dijakovic or Dijak. So that was the draw for me. But I'm telling you, without giving too much of it away, it was pretty cool. It wasn't long and it didn't have to be. And it kind of reminded me of the conversation I had with Dijak when we did the meet and greet together. I said, really dug your match with Omos and Josh Briggs from last year's Stand and Deliver. I said, I think it's an unbelievable match, close to perfect. And the length is the best part about it. And he goes, you know what? We talked about that. They wanted to go longer, but all three parties involved wanted to keep it this length and believe it. Talking about, man, it's like a 13-minute match and it's three dudes beating the shit out of each other, and it's pretty darn good. So regardless, check that match out if you get a chance. But the Buried Alive match was amazing. The show was amazing. Seeing Bushwhacker Luke was cool. Coco Beware, a few of the legends. But we had a great time. check out Becca, independent wrestler. She's a quote unquote pop star. She was hawking her CDs at the merch table. She sings her own entrance song. Anytime you sing your own entrance song, it's bonus points in my book because you got it. I'm listening. I'm listening if you're going to sing your own stuff.
And we'll just pull back the curtain. Nick has been listening to that song all day today.
Yeah, the song's called Hot Bod. Go check it out on Spotify. It's so cheesy, over the top. I love it. But she had a big night last night, becoming the new. It was a pretty, historical night for the company. New women's champ. Maggie Lee drops her title. Maggie Lee just the second women's champ in that company's history, the Dreamwave. And now Becca's the third. And then we had Channing Thomas, world-class Channing Thomas, cashing in his good as gold briefcase. And he won Rumble. Good as gold Rumble over the previous good as gold Rumble briefcase winner, Connor Hopkins, and Channing Thomas is your new Dreamwave men's champion.
And he is their 11th champion. So kudos to him. And of course, it wasn't all wine and roses for him afterwards, because he got ganged up on by Connor Tompkins, Amina Belmont, Damian Deschain, and
Stephen Wolf.
With Stephen Wolf.
Stephen Wolf kind of doing a character flip flop here and joining the dark side. Thomas handcuffed to the middle rope, and the rest of the gang were able to bust open and bloody Sydney Bacabella, of course, the manager for world-class Channing Thomas. But an excellent show. If you get a chance, go out of your way to watch it. I'm sure it will be on IWTV. Usually Dreamwave is live, but I think with that whole Buried Alive thing, they wanted it not to be live. They wanted it to be recorded. But the Buried Alive match was nothing like gratuitous or anything.
And I'll kind of pull back the curtain again. I was not up by the gravesite. I opted to not deal with the crowd that I knew would be gathering around that, but you were front and center, Nick. What was that like watching them over that burial plot?
It was cool. It was like, this is what was really cool was like all the little kids that were up there watching it. And like, I turned to one of the parents, I'm like, dude, these kids are going to remember this crap forever. Like, this is like, they're all wide-eyed. And I guess I was wide-eyed too as a 45-year-old kid up there. But I was able to actually lay in the burial plot post-show.
I buried him last
night. The
night.
box that those guys were in, they had broke it somehow. But safety measures were ensured. There was an escape hatch that they did show us, but it was pretty cool to see that. You've heard about it, you've seen them on TV, but I've never seen one live, and there's a lot of people that hadn't. So it was really neat to be a part of wrestling history last night. Good time had by all. I have never had a bad time at a Dreamwave show, and I highly encourage it.
This was my second live show with Dreamwave, and I agree. They put on a tremendous show any way, shape, or form you look at it. And give another shout out to our good friend DB, Sit Down Marks podcast. He was there, like you said, dressed as Nails. Always good seeing him and having a good conversation about anything going on in Dreamwave and the wrestling world when we see him.
Right. Yep, absolutely. It's always good meeting back up with people you've seen on social media, you've had on the show, or you've talked to at a prior show. It's always good making new friends at show too. And we were quite the popular table. And I think it was because it wasn't anything I did. Zach, VIP only on our table. So he got us, CZ hooked us up last night. And they treated us like kings up there at the Dreamwave show. And it was really great. And we were really close to where the locker room came out and watched the shows, and just being able to talk to some of those guys. They would stop by and talk to us. It was cool. Fun atmosphere, and it's family friendly. They do a pretty good job of, if there's going to be violence and over the top blood, they will preempt you and tell you that. But class act. I A+ last night. I have not been to a bad Dreamwave show.
Plus, where else can you see someone transform into a werewolf in the middle of a wrestling match? I'm just saying.
Come on. Santana Jackson. He's Michael. Yeah. I mean, come on. It's Halloween season. The Thriller music, you knew it was going to happen. That was.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was. If you haven't had a chance to see Santana Jackson and his whole routine, go check it out, dude. He's cool. He's an entertainer, man. He's an entertainer, and by what I could tell, if he interacted with him, like a legit down to earth, like cool dude too. So
yes,
I'd love to talk to him in the future. You never know. You never know.
Never say never, right?
That's right, unless it's never wrong.
Well, I don't know if there's anything else we can say. We've gushed on both these shows quite a bit, Nick. Do you have anything further to add?
I don't. Next week's show, hey, it's a mystery grab bag. You don't know what you're going to get, and we don't yet either. So stick with us on socials. We'll keep you posted on what things are going to be for episode 221. Glad, of course, you're with us here on the For Frequency's Sake Network. We want to thank those guys for giving us the platform. We also want to thank our sponsors. We are powered by Low Price Pizza and built by Durham Remodeling. We want to thank those guys so much for allowing us to do this, give you this show on this network. Yeah, and I get to do it with a pretty good buddy and a wrestling friend, my buddy CZ. So, yeah, this is pretty good. This is fun.
Absolutely love everything we do, the people we meet, the fans that we have who enjoy what we talk about. So I want to thank everybody who's tuned in, everybody who's been a guest. This is a fantastic ride, and it's only getting better. We're getting towards the end of the year and into 2026. I can't wait to see what next year brings.
New year, new storylines, hopefully. Maybe some new twists and turns. We'll see. We got Survivor Series coming up. That's going to be a big show yet to come. So
yes, we've got a full dance card for the rest of the year, Nick.
For sure, the landscape of wrestling is changing, of course, with John Cena down at the end of the year as well. So wrestling will definitely be different in 2026, and we'll be here for it as well. So
absolutely
looking forward to that.
Well, that is going to wrap up this episode of Card Subject to Change. Again, we are the podcast by the fan, for the fan, powered by Low Price Pizza and built by Durham Remodeling. Stay tuned to socials for what we're doing next week. We will be back here next Sunday, though, for another fine episode of Card Subject to Change. For my partner, Never Wrong, Nick Bull, I am the Wizard CZ. You all have a fantastic rest of your week.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.